Recent sale of a Gaston home is raising conflict of interest questions. Nate Morabito discovered the house is linked to a Charlotte area company, a small town public works director, and the city council member who rents from him. In response to his questions, the city opened an internal investigation.
This all started when the Lowell Public Works Director bought this house for what some people think was a steal. The seller? The owners of a local company he regularly bills to do work for the town. Then a city council member moved in. A corner lot with 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and 2,000 square feet. Surrounded by homes that went for $200,000 plus over the last year, sold for $150,000 in August.
Numbers on a piece of paper don't tell a whole story.
Well below its assessed value.
The house needed $50,000 to $60,000 worth.
The result, Angela and Don Greth say, of their desire to move as soon as possible, following years of what they call continuous harassment by their neighbors and the homeowners association.
It just got to the point I hated being in that neighborhood.
The Greths own AG Mechanical, a heavy equipment diesel repair company with hundreds of clients, including the City of Lowell.
We're not getting rich off the City of Lowell.
Invoices show the city's hired their company for almost $30,000 worth of work since 2020.
That's less than 3% of my gross receipts.
And the same city employee whose name is on every invoice is the man who bought their house, Thomas Shrewsbury.
He hires me to fix his stuff.
The public works director.
I went to 4 different agencies before going to Mr. Shrewsbury.
What made you think I should go to the public works director?
Because he has a business doing that. He owns like 20, 30 houses already.
He didn't set the price, I set the price.
With the deal closed, the husband and wife say they moved on. But then city council member Phil Bonham and his family started renting the house.
See, that was his own damn fault. That was stupid.
Bonham, whose vote is critical for every city department's annual budget, told us he signed a lease and is paying the public works director, his landlord, fair market value, an undisclosed amount. The council member declined an on-camera interview, but assured us there is no conflict whatsoever. Instead, Bonham says this is all politically motivated by his new neighbor and recent election opponent.
I lost 35 votes. That's okay.
Larry Simons. Is this sour grapes from you?
Absolutely not. It's not sour grapes. It's just sad for the city.
A man who's convinced there is a conflict of interest.
It raises a lot of questions.
And he's not alone.
I'm not happy. I don't think it was right.
Catherine Edwards Bentley is voicing concerns too.
To me, it's a big conflict of interest.
In response to our questions, the city manager opened an internal investigation into the perceived conflict of interest and or other issues with respect to the transaction. Leading up to that, he told us the public works director forwards all repair invoices to the finance director for approval. Documents he shared identified AG Mechanical's rates as the most affordable in town. In a last-minute statement, the public works director admitted he is the one who decides when the city should use AG Mechanical, but told us he has not violated any laws or personnel policies. Shrewsbury said he's also the one who reached out to the council member about renting this home, knowing Bonham and his family needed a place to live, adding he's never used his position to operate in an illegal or unethical fashion, including during this simple real estate transaction.
There is no quid pro quo.
There is no such thing there.
That's how the Greths describe it too.
There was no favoritism given to us. There was no extra work given to us.
Did you ever think, should I really be selling this house to the person that recommends the town do business with me?
I didn't look at it from that perspective.
They insist this is nothing more than a couple run out of the neighborhood looking for the short sale of a home in need of expensive repairs. You didn't think this may seem odd to people in the community?
Because he does that. He has a bunch of rentals. So that's nothing odd. It's a business.
From that.
If they're going to pay me what I want, it's really none of your business who buys it.
Just hours before our story was set to air, the city manager announced the completion of his internal investigation, finding no evidence of wrongdoing under the city's personnel policy and no evidence the company improperly tried to influence contracting. But he said Lowell will cooperate if other agencies choose to investigate. Nate Morabito, WCNC Charlotte.